Hello everyone and welcome to Tea With Me. I'm Michelle K.
I'm Michelle C.
And today we're looking at a subject which was probably one of the first things that we actually bonded over.
Yes,
which is the carnivore diet.
Yes, and the benefits.
And the benefits.
And how amazing we found it.
Yes, so obviously, first disclaimer, we're not doctors.
No.
We're not nutritionists.
No.
I did some nutrition study as part of my personal trainer course, but obviously it's all government guideline stuff, so...
But we are people.
We are people, and this is our anecdotal evidence.
Yes.
And our own research. So, cheers. Grab yourself something to drink. Have tea with us.
Yes. Tea with me and she, if we're allowed to say that.
I am a she. I am a she.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Okay, so when did you first hear about carnivore?
Oh, well, really, it was not strictly carnivore to begin with, but I read, I read a lot of Dr. Weston A. Price stuff, and about the grass-fed beef and the benefits of that, the benefits of bone broth, the benefits of raw dairy, and that was kind of where my journey began. And we're going back 2016, I think. Yeah,
quite a while ago then. Yeah. I first heard about the carnivore diet from seeing Dr. Sean Baker on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yep.
And then Jordan Peterson talking about it, and his daughter Michaela. So that was my first inkling into that world. And then I was doing keto.
Yeah.
And in a lot of ways, carnivore is a natural progression of keto. So yeah, that's how I came to it anyway.
Okay.
But yeah. So when did you first try it?
Strict carnivore's been a more recent thing within the last year.
Yeah.
But because I actually, since finding the Dr. Weston A. Price stuff, I've experimented so much with diet, went vegan for a while.
Same.
And discovered that really did not work for me at all. Yeah. I felt great for about a month, and then started to feel really awful, and then I just felt like everything was deteriorating. And after 8 months, I literally just wanted to eat the nearest piece of beef. So that's when I kind of went a bit more strict and more animal based, really. But
and
when
at least you weren't so dogmatic.
I don't think you can be.
No, because
it doesn't serve us.
There is a lot of people in the vegan world, and actually in the carnivore world, who will ignore things that aren't going right. Yeah. Because it's almost become an ideology.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And that can take over to such an extent that we just ignore our own health and well-being, and we have to listen to ourselves, you know?
Absolutely.
And I think, you know, in some ways, there's no better doctor, although not qualified, than yourself for yourself, if you know what I mean. We know how we're feeling, and we can listen to our bodies. It's our bodies that tell us something's wrong, you know?
N equals 1.
Yeah.
Self-experimentation.
Yeah,
that's what
and
it's all
I think
about.
That's the journey that I've been on, and I've just experimented with so many things. But because I think carnivore now has become perhaps a little bit of a controversial subject because of the vegan drive.
And also the environmental drive.
Yes, the environmental drive as well. But I don't think we'll go too deep on that today.
No, not today. But yeah, it has become a political issue.
Yes.
It has, in of itself.
But we're just talking about what we do.
Let's talk about the benefits we've personally seen and felt.
Yep.
So I was keto for a while. When did I start keto? Probably 2019, I think it was. 2019. And I did it to lose the baby weight.
Yep.
Because I'd had my daughter, a little bit of the baby weight had come off naturally.
Yeah.
But I have the sort of genetics where I have always struggled with my weight. Not to a huge extent, but I can put on weight very easily. And it takes a lot for me to lose weight. So that's why I first went to keto, and then I did that for a while, like 6 months or so, lost all the baby weight, and then I wanted to go further, And that was when I started learning more about the fasting side, and also that's when I found out about carnivore. So I did my first carnivore challenge where I did like the first full month, and I'll link to my personal YouTube channel because I've documented quite a lot of this on that channel. So if you're interested in that journey, then you can go and watch those videos. And you're going to I'm
going to do the same. I'm going to go strict. I'm about to embark on a personal journey because I last year experimented a bit with a diet again, beginning of last year, and I was crazy working out and crazy diet, and it just all didn't end well.
No,
it was too much, and it wasn't the right stuff either. It's what we're taught is really, really great, but
you were doing more like the bodybuilding sort of plan, weren't you? Where it was all the chicken and rice.
Yeah, it was all not so much rice, but it was all chicken and vegetables and salads and salmon and asparagus and loads and loads and loads of asparagus. One meal plan was a piece of chicken, a little bit of courgette, and like 15 asparagus spears.
Oh my God, I couldn't.
It's true what they say about asparagus, that's all I'm going to say.
I couldn't eat that much vegetables.
I do actually love asparagus, but
But not 15.
And in the morning, like 4 egg whites, 2 cups of spinach raw, and 8 cherry tomatoes.
Spinach.
I know. Which I've since learned, and it's crazy because I was eating all the things that we're told are really, really good for us. I'd, pretty much cut out fat. I was having a little bit like with avocados, and stuff, but it messed up my digestive system, messed up my reproductive system, and I felt awful.
Yeah.
So I came off it, and then because I'd been so starved of nutrients, because I was only allowed a little bit of beef, like 4 ounces of beef one day a week.
Oh no!
I know, which is just not enough.
That's so funny because we eat beef like every day now.
Yeah,
Every day.
I pretty much do.
Yeah.
Because I get a big beef box at the beginning of the month, with various different cuts of beef, and then So now I feel great, but I haven't been working out because I came off that and I literally just threw it all in the bin. So I stopped working out. So I'm going to get back on that, and I'm going to podcast all of that on a separate channel, which I'm going to set up over the next couple of days. So,
So we'll link to your channel when it's set up.
Yep.
And obviously mine will be linked already. And I'm in the process of documenting a month's journey now of more of a hormone preserving plan. What do we call it? Something like that. So it's it breaks it all up depending on where you are in your menstrual cycle.
Yes.
So this is some new territory for me
both
and
of us,
for you. Stuff that we never knew about female hormones.
And I think that's something that actually interfered when I did my experiment or my journey that I went on last year, because I was working out like crazy all through the month. And I had no idea that I should never do that.
Yeah.
So
and I lost a great deal of weight doing the snake diet, which is Cole Robinson's thing of like extended fasts, and I was fasting all through the month. And now I know that us ladies can't really do that.
No, we can't.
We're not just the same as men.
No, we're not. No.
Funny that.
Isn't it? All this time.
I know. So at the moment I'm not strict carnivore all month.
No.
I am doing strict carnivore at certain points.
Yes.
Through the cycle.
But I have found since eating more of an animal-based diet, and there are times when I will do strict carnivore for sort of a few days at a time, and I have found that the weight fluctuations that I normally have experienced in my life have disappeared, and it just doesn't fluctuate like it used to, which is incredible, because I mean I'm not working out but I'm staying lean, so I'm really grateful for the carnivore diet. It's working for me. I love it, and it tastes good. Who doesn't love a steak? Come on.
Well, exactly. Or a bunless burger.
I'm not.
Or bacon. Sausage.
I
mean, you can't eat the
like
highly processed stuff all the time. But...
or slow cooked beef.
Pork belly.
Pork scratchings. Love a good pork scratching.
And you know what? You can't beat eggs.
No, when they're so versatile. You can literally do anything with an egg, pretty much.
And they're normally reasonably priced. We're having a bit of a shortage at the moment because of reasons.
Yes. Well, there was a sign up in a supermarket that I was in the other day, and I thought, best get some eggs because I was running low. And it said, we are limiting purchases to 3 boxes per customer.
What,
so that everybody has
a dozen
enough.
Box?
These were 6. There were no dozens, and this supermarket does the 15 box as well. So there was none of those. So I was quite sad. Went home with my 1 box of eggs.
Well,
a tear in my
eye. I mean, my husband went food shopping the other week, and there were no eggs in there at all. And so he took a drive out to a place that he has passed that do free range. They sell free range eggs at the side of the road.
Yeah,
and he got some from there, which are better eggs.
Well, also, they're gonna local produce
with the bright orange yolk from proper free range birds. That
you can definitely tell the difference.
Eating bugs and stuff. Yeah. I don't want to eat the bugs, but the chickens can eat the bugs and make delicious eggs.
I mean, corn-fed chickens aren't really ideal.
Well, if chickens aren't vegetarian.
No.
So a corn-fed bird is just fat, basically.
Yeah, and they do like a bit of foliage, but predominantly like the bugs and stuff is great.
Yeah, they just want to scratch around and eat bugs. Yeah. Yeah, they're not carnivores, but we can be.
Yes.
But here's an interesting one. So Harvard University did a carnivore study.
Oh, okay.
So this was in 2021, and they had 2,029 participants over 6 months.
Wow.
On the carnivore diet. And these are the results. So 100% of the diabetics came off injectable medicines.
Does not surprise me.
100%.
That's colossal.
92% of diabetics came off insulin completely.
Wow.
Yeah. 84% of diabetics came off all oral medications.
Yep.
Inflammatory markers decreased significantly across the board.
Yep.
All participants. And 90% improvement in all diseases.
Yeah.
And the average weight loss over that 6-month period was 20 pounds.
Yeah.
Per participant.
Wow.
Which is immense.
Yeah.
It's immense. So the researchers concluded, contrary to common expectations, adults consuming a carnivore diet experienced few adverse effects and instead reported health benefits and high satisfaction.
Yes.
Awesome.
Well, I mean, we started as hunters.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Well, the men would.
Well, yeah, we would forage, which is why we can see a spectrum of colours that's much broader than a man's.
Mm-hmm.
But I think even then, fruit is probably better. Berries and things like that.
The majority of fruits and vegetables today came from the same, 1 or 2 plants.
Yeah.
And they've just been sort of genetically modified over the years.
Yeah, which is incredibly sad because it's
You see pictures of the original, watermelon and stuff, and it was tiny little bit of fruit in the middle. And now it's all fruit with just a thin bit of skin on the outside.
And I mean, although you can still get purple carrots occasionally, they were purple, and now they're
heritage. They call them
orange.
Heritage carrots.
I just call them purple carrots.
Because you get all different tomatoes as well, don't you? But
yeah.
Tomatoes are not my friend.
No, they're actually
I think it's the nightshade family in general.
Yeah, peppers are also nightshade family. But we're both familiar with Paul Saladinos. Don't know if you've heard. I've actually bought his book, The Carnivore Diet, and he does more of an animal base now. So he will incorporate fruit and honey. And I think there's courgettes. He said are okay. So I'll eat courgettes and cucumber. He said if you remove the seeds and the skin, might as well have a glass of water.
So you get this tiny little.
So yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
But a lot of vegetables, I think, because of perhaps the GM issue, are high toxicity.
Yeah. And the green leafy ones.
Oh well, I
are
haven't.
The worst culprits.
I don't eat green leafy vegetables anymore. I used to be mad on them. You know, I'd be that mother. That staunch parent sat at the table. You will eat your broccoli, you will eat your greens, and you will be strong. Now eat your steak, love. Come on.
I used to do juicing, back in the day, juices and smoothies, and so there was a lot of spinach and stuff.
Yeah, I used to do smoothies and
oh God, when I think back now,
my favourite juice was always orange, sweet potato, and carrot. That was delicious.
Yeah,
loved it.
Well, I used to follow the Juice Master. Have you seen any of his stuff? No. Jason something. I can't remember his last name.
I almost embarked on a juicing journey, but kind of didn't.
I mean, I felt amazing at the time, but when you look back at it, you're basically living off sugar because you're just juicing all these fruits and vegetables.
Yeah,
it's not good.
No,
but I felt great and I lost weight.
Yeah, but I've not lost and maintained, which I think is a key one.
The other thing, yeah.
My weight. Anything like what I have achieved on the carnivore.
Yeah.
The carnivore diet is definitely, I think, and the health benefits in general, I'm far less lethargic. You know, I don't suffer with the same brain fog. So it's for me. But one thing I'm about to do as well is supplement with the organ. Because offal, we don't eat offal anymore. And I mean, our ancestors, they would eat nose to tail. So everything got eaten.
You didn't waste anything, no.
No. But the benefits, because I think you miss out when you don't eat offal a bit.
Yeah.
And I think we need it because it's so rich.
I just don't like it, though. The only one I can really eat
That's
is
why I'm
chicken
going to
liver.
supplement. Yeah, because I think the flavour is so strong, and there are people that love it, and I think Paul Saladinos eats it raw, doesn't he?
I think he eats all the organs, doesn't he?
So I don't, even down to testicles and stuff, I think.
Yeah, that's too much for me.
Yeah, I personally don't think I could go there, but no. I do want to get, I think it's liver, kidney and heart. So, and I do supplement with suet as well. Because I know we're all told that fat's really bad for us, but I have read that fat burns fat.
I love it.
And actually by having, and also I think because I'd pretty much cut out fat, that's why my digestive system kind of was in complete turmoil.
Well, we need fat, don't we? There's essential fats and essential proteins.
Yeah.
That's it. I have a brilliant picture here. I'm going to pop it up on the screen so you can see. It's the meat-based diet food pyramid.
Ah.
Can you see?
Yeah.
Yeah. So at the bottom, which is the largest section, which on your normal food pyramid would be all your breads and pastas and cereals.
Yeah.
It's ruminants.
Yeah.
So,
which I believe is animals with more than one stomach, is it?
The ones that graze.
Oh, yeah. It's just the cows then.
And then the next one up is your non-ruminants. So pork and fowl.
Yeah, okay.
And eggs and fish roe. Oh, I do like caviar.
I've never tried
Haven't you? Oh.
No, perhaps we'll get some at some point, and we will eat caviar on our podcast.
I've had the beluga.
Can I have a bone broth to
the black caviar, the beluga.
Oh, okay.
Is it beluga?
I don't know.
I don't know. I can't remember what it's called, but I've had that one, and I've also had salmon roe, which is the little red salmon eggs.
Oh, okay.
That's nice as well. And then the top one, the smallest section, is your dairy and animal fats.
Which I, since reading Dr. Weston A. Price, went on the raw dairy, and actually I found it is so much better. Yeah. If you can go raw on your dairy, because basically with the pasteurisation process, they heat it so much that they remove the good bacteria.
As well as bad.
And then it makes the lactose in the milk really, really hard for us to digest. But when it's all complete, it works a lot better. Yeah. So
that's my next step.
Yes.
Let's get some raw dairy.
And I just love it. I think it's so nice. And the cheese is just... Because I find pasteurised cheese a bit more rubbery. Whereas it's more crumbly and just, it's lovely. The raw. It's nice. Love it.
Wonderful. I think in terms of benefits, I think it's a bit different for men and women for carnivore.
Yes.
Both sexes do get benefits.
Yeah.
But men certainly can be zero carb 100% of the time.
Yes, they're a lot more flexible.
Yeah.
But we have to, because we've got such hormonal fluctuations throughout the month, we have to adapt according to our hormones. And that's why, even the fasting, the exercise, and all that kind of stuff.
We have to tailor it to our cycle.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are some women who are absolutely thriving on a strict carnivore diet all the time. So I think you have to do a bit of self-experimentation and see what works for you.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like I've done strict carnivore for the whole month and I was fine. But I think, like, for your hair, like, because the hair needs carbs, like, to get nice, long, thick hair, you need to be having some carbs. And I think as long as you're putting them in at the right points of the month.
Yeah, and not too much, and not
the wrong kind.
Yeah, not the processed rubbish.
So like the sweet potatoes and root vegetables and stuff like that. That's the carbs that we're going to be having.
That's going to be
not bread,
only sort. No bread, no pasta,
not even sourdough. And I love sourdough.
Yeah, I do quite like sourdough.
Yeah,
and it's better, I think, because of. Is it the fermentation? It's just the preparation. Everything's rushed nowadays, isn't it? And that takes all the goodness out of it.
But I think it's like you have to sort of play around with your own diet and see what works for you. Because if having a slice of sourdough once a month isn't going to kill me.
Well, no, that's it. And I think sometimes if you're too strict, you kind of lose motivation.
You can do, but I want to do it properly for at least this first month. I really want to hone in on the key points. So it's actually Dr. Mindy Pell's book.
Yes, Fast
Like a Girl.
Yeah.
She's
I need to.
Yeah, she's going to buy it.
I
actually pre-ordered it.
Did you?
I did,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a brilliant book, and I highly recommend any woman
get it and read it. She did a little thing on her YouTube channel as well. 5 reasons why it's also beneficial for men.
Yeah.
So actually, I think, men out there, there's certainly chapters that you can probably sort of skip through a bit because they might be
female hormone bits.
Might be a bit less relevant, but also, sometimes I think men and women reading about each other's hormones helps us to understand and live a bit more harmoniously. Mm-hmm. So, skip through it or don't. It's certainly worth a read, I would have thought.
Because in the book, she lays out the plans depending on where you are in your life. Yeah. So it's for women who still have a cycle, but it's also for women who are postmenopausal. And also going through menopause, perimenopause, whatever stage you're at. So the men can just look at the postmenopausal side, and that's their plan because they don't have to worry about hormone fluctuations. Yeah. I don't know the ins and outs of male hormone patterns.
No.
But I'm sure they probably do have a bit of fluctuation with their testosterone levels, but I don't think it's as intricate as ours.
No, and possibly not as affected as much because you think testosterone builds muscle.
Yeah.
So, where we've got our peaks and our spikes, that's when we shouldn't really be working out and stuff. Whereas for a man, they'll want to, surely.
Yeah.
I would have thought.
Well, I think it's when we're ovulating is when our testosterone is at its highest, so we can actually lift our heaviest when we're ovulating. And that's also when our hair gets all glossy.
Right.
And our skin gets all nice.
Yeah. Last a few days of the month. I love those days. They're the ones I leave the house.
We get about 5 days of being...
For the rest of it, men just lock us in a cupboard.
Yeah. So if you can track your lady's cycle, you'll know when to try it on.
Yes, yeah, that's when she's
or she might tell you.
A bit more amenable, shall we say?
Yeah. So we've got 5 or 6 days where we're fertile.
Yeah.
And that's when we'll probably start chasing you around the house.
Yeah, in our underwear. No, I don't do that.
And that's the other thing with eating a species-appropriate diet is it gives you your libido back.
Yes, well, I was going to touch on that, that's...
And I speak from personal experience.
Yes. Does make a difference. Well, it's our animalistic ways and, when we embrace our biology and embrace our genetic makeup, it just opens doors to everything.
Normal life. Like how things should be.
Yeah.
And I use a tracker for my cycle. Do you use a tracker?
I don't actually. No, I keep a mental and listen to my body, and I go, oh yeah, sorry girls. I've been moody for about a week now.
I just find it helps me so much, like, because I'll spot a symptom.
Yeah.
And I'll go to my tracker and I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that explains that then.
Yeah.
And then I can also give my husband a heads up.
Yeah. But have you found actually since doing this that symptoms have lessened?
Yes.
Like I used to get really bad cramps. And now I get like a little niggle. But
yeah, I mean, my last period, I had just come off of like a 2-week carby binge, basically, because I'd been away with family and stuff like that. So that one was quite bad.
Well, that's why.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But no, normally when I'm like keto or carnivore, absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm really interested to see what happens to my symptoms on this like hormonal plan.
Yeah, that would be...
To see.
Well, I'm going to tie... What I'm going to do, I think, is tie the carnivore. So, but because of obviously the hormonal stuff and needing the carbs at certain points in the month, so I will go probably carnivore for a lot of the month, but do animal-based. So that's like my main source. But I'm going to tie it in with the Betty Body book and fast like a girl, do some fasts in there as well, get some working out done, and then, you know, hopefully go down a bit of a Wim Hof journey as well with the cold showers. So yeah, that's my plan, and it's all starting on Wednesday. Well, from Wednesday evening. So
yeah. But our next episode is going to be all about women's health.
Yes, we've touched on it a bit.
We touched on it a bit in this one, but we're going to be discussing women's health now with a fresh cup of tea.
Yes. Well, we have a pot.
We have a pot on the go.
Sophisticated ladies.
We are.
Yes. I'm not going
to... so we're going to be going through diet strategy, exercise strategy, pills and supplements, and all that good, and cold showers and all that kind of thing, and what our plans are going forward.
Yeah.
And so join us on that next episode.
Yes.
So that will be coming out next Tuesday. And we'll see you then.
Yes, see you then. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.